Hello everyone and welcome back for another episode of Indie Impressions. My name is Nick, and today we're going to be checking out MagiTower. This is going to be a very special Indie Impressions language barrier edition. Reason being, just about everything that I could find out about this game was written entirely in Japanese. Unfortunately, I don't speak Japanese, so that's where the fun's going to come in. So, we're presented to a pretty interesting looking introduction menu screen here with a slightly dizzying view of this box tower stacked up upon itself with some very odd artifacted looking skybox in the background. I'm not going to say that this is going to be the best game, but I think it should be interesting regardless. I did walk around in the first room for a good 5 minutes or so just to get acclimated, maybe see what the controls might be like, since again there was basically no documentation for me to figure this out by. From what I can tell though, it's a third-person platformer / puzzle game with some sort of a push-pull magic system mechanic, which we're going to get into as soon as we start it. What is up with the typography, by the way? This is not very good presentation for this introduction. Regardless, I'm going to try not to judge the game too much strictly on graphics, because as we all know, as indie gamers, we don't really need to care that much about that. I mean, if it supplements the gameplay, then cool. Otherwise, we'll just pretend we're playing a PS1 game or something. So let's start it out by pressing not enter, not mouse click, but spacebar. Spacebar is our correct button here. So here we are. Our little black mage or something has entered this very forbidding tower. And we're going to do a little bit of walking around here as we get acclimated again. So we've got a, looks like an all marble hall with a stack of crates. Our magician or main character here can jump exactly 1 tile's height with his magical glyph jump that looks like it's straight out of Devil May Cry. Kind of cool, actually. And we are treated to some very lovely background music. The one thing I will give them credit for is their background music. From what I've heard, between the main screen, title screen, and this, it's actually quite exceptional. So there's no complaints there. It actually sounds a lot like we're playing some sort of Final Fantasy. I'm not sure if they licensed it from someone or what. I guess I'll find out when I post the video, but yeah, sounds good. So our goal, as I'm sure you've already ascertained, is to climb up this stack of blocks and or boxes and reach that red framed door. What we need to do to accomplish this goal, though, is use Q to enter magic mode, and we are then treated to the option of using one of 2 spells, either our yellow glyph, which one is this, push? I think it's push. Or our purple glyph, which is pull. From what I can tell, though, not really too many of these objects will actually interact with each other. Walls, floors, ceilings, I believe, are all off limits. So what I have to do is I have to use the push and the pull with the other boxes, which makes it a pretty interesting prospect. So I think what I have to do here, well, ideally I'd like to back away from my character a little bit because I'm awfully close in this viewpoint. If I could maybe just use this. Well, let's just experiment. So that's going to push me away, as you would probably guess. There's a wall on the other side of that block, which means that when this is pushing, this block is going to remain stationary. And it's pushed it almost to the other side of the room. That's probably bad. I'm going to try using a pull spell here. That doesn't seem to help me in any way. What if I can I pull it? No, the walls just mean nothing. Well, the obvious thing here is to use it like this. But then we're in an interesting predicament where, try as we might, we can pull them together. It's not going to make a huge difference, though, when it comes to this stuff. And that has nothing to interact with, so what's that going to really do? So really the only option that I can see to even use here is to keep pulling the blocks out. But I'm not sure how that's going to help me reach the top here, because it's still too high. This episode might end up being something of a train wreck, just in the fact that I have no idea how to actually solve this puzzle yet. I intentionally started it up with the idea that I was going to just magically figure it out the second I started recording. I'm not sure why I thought that. It's probably a bad idea. But thankfully, right within the accidental press of our finger, we have the R key, which will allow us to start the level over again. Maybe mercifully so, I'm not sure. So maybe if this is positioned just right from the start, I can actually use this to simply climb up at a diagonal, and actually that is the case. Alright, so I was overanalyzing things here. I thought actually we would need to make a stack or some sort of a staircase to climb. I guess we didn't really need to. So let's move on to level 2 of our MagiTower. Stage clear. Man, I don't like that font. Alright, we're slowly rising in our little magic elevator. Alright, now we've got some new conventions. It looks like some steel blocks, some sort of, I don't know, glyph. Looks like Guilty Gear character select screen thing. And I gotta figure out how I can use these things. I guess the steel blocks are rooted in place, so my idea is going to be to pull, and then also pull over there. Oh, I can't. Can I? Oh, I can. I can actually do what I thought I was gonna do. That's great news. Oh god, don't crush me on the wall. Get out of there! Wow. Wizard got really, like, dopey when he got close to that edge. Oh, man, there's one on the ceiling, too. Alright, so I'll pull that up. And now we're thinking in magic spells, apparently. Quite interesting how it looks like that dithered shadow on the edge of the hat and cloak. They almost look like they're just artifacting textures that are freaking out. I also really like the little sparkle fireworks display that we get after completing each stage. The elevator, the ceiling actually tends to go up with it, but then that crazy texture actually turns into a normal texture again. I should note also, every time when I have tried to set up for recording on this, it's actually crashed when I went from full screen to the desktop to Alt-Tab to check my volume settings, so there is a chance this thing could just break at any moment. Our exit door looks like it's walled off right now, which is a little disconcerting. Not sure what to think about that. So it appears as if we've got a very similar scenario to what we had in the first place, in the very first room. And we can't actually interact with that glyph, so I'm not sure what we're supposed to do here. I guess I'll try to do the same thing and see what happens when we pass over this, if anything. Oh, it's a switch or button, I guess. Alright, so that's holding, because I can speak words, that's holding that in place, and that just blew my chance to push that block backward, I believe. So I'm actually going to have to restart that level. I think I know what to do, I just hit the wrong button there, which will happen. So let's pull. Only one pull shot necessary. That'll fall into place. Get out of the way, and then use push to send this back in the opposite direction, which should provide me enough distance to actually leap my way up. Okay, cool. So the difficulty curve, thankfully, is actually being somewhat merciful, taking pity on me and not making me look like as big of an idiot as I was expecting a few moments ago when I first started this. We're actually making fairly decent time on each one of these floors. I have a feeling when we get to the end, this is not going to be one of those episodes where I go, I have a recommendation, or I think you should really avoid this game, because I think inherently for what it is, it's probably just fine. I think we shouldn't judge it too harshly. But at the same time, it's not exactly the most polished product either. However, it's free, so it's kind of hard to be too judgmental on a free game, generally. Alright, so now we've got another derivation of the same block stack. I'm surprised these... Oh, okay, so once that root's in place, it pulls the metal block out. That's interesting, because I thought these things didn't move. Alright, well that actually just tutorialized the concept we needed to use to get this block. I guess I'm going to have to do the same thing in reverse that I did in the last level. We're building upon each concept one at a time, which is usually a hallmark of good gameplay design. In this case, it's hard to overlook some of the other elements. But then again, you know, I said I wasn't going to harp on graphics, and I feel like I'm going to anyway. So I guess I'll just leave it up to you guys to think what you're going to think. Okay, now things have opened up. I think this will probably be the last floor that I reach. Call me crazy. But I just don't expect that I'm going to be able to figure out what to do here. That would be really funny if I could just, like, reach it right now. Or if I could, like, shoot the ceiling with something and pull one of these blocks up. So there's a clue to what we're supposed to do here by the fact that these things are on the walls. So I can use them somehow. I'm not sure exactly how, though. Alright, what if I pull this one, pull these two together. Now this is fallen. I probably just broke the level, but I don't really know. I feel like I should at least investigate a little bit. I should probably have used this block. Alright, let's reset. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I was supposed to use this block for something. I guess I can pull this one over here. Oh, it still falls in the gaps, though. Okay, I thought maybe it would float across for some reason, but, you know, the tractor beam's just not quite that strong. But that did clear the path for me to use this for something, per se. I am confused. I'm not actually sure what I'm supposed to do with this. I think before we let this episode drag on too long, we'll just make this a super short episode. You guys can come to your own conclusions. I'm usually ready to throw out a recommendation or not. I think this is one of those cases where you're just going to be interested in this if you like this kind of gameplay. Excuse me. If you're up for a good puzzle, you know, when it comes to 3D space, actually the concept of this is not all that bad. The execution leaves a bit to be desired, but I have seen worse. Again, if we just pretend we're playing a PS1 game, this would be right at home in just about any library, so take that with what you will. If you want to go download this, I'll put the link right in the description, as I always do. I'm kind of curious to see what's at the top of the MagiTower, the MagiTower, so if you guys feel like it, go ahead and record yourselves playing this, if you can. So hopefully there's no compatibility issues for you. Oh, and there's a block thing down here, I didn't realize that. So I guess our goal is to get this block all the way to the end and then shoot it up and then do something with these. I don't know, it looks very complicated. But yeah, send me a video response if you're interested. If it looks good, I will probably put it up as a video response to this if you submit it to me. And we'll take it from there. So thank you for watching. As always, feel free to head on over to the website, which is indie-impressions.com. Check out all the old and new videos in the series. I've also got a Facebook page, facebook.com/indieimpressions. Leave a like on that if you choose to get every day's new video in your Facebook stream and get the occasional news updates and or contests. I also have a Twitter handle, @RockLeeSmile on Twitter if you want to say hey or request a game, or if you're an indie dev and you want to send me something. That is also a quick way to start a conversation. I also have a contact form on the website. So that's the abridged closing. Thank you so much for watching, and be sure to come back again tomorrow for another episode. Hope you have a lovely night. And I hope this puzzle goes somewhere interesting. Maybe it does, who knows? We will see. So, talk to you next time.